Welcome. I'm Bob Ludlam, Spinnaker Support's Vice President and General Manager for the Americas. It's my pleasure to talk to you today about how IT leaders are effectively cutting their support costs while improving the quality of their Oracle software support. We appreciate the interest, so I'll keep this brief and hopefully make it worth your time. Let's begin with the simple definition of Oracle software support. In this context, we mean technical support for Oracle perpetual licenses, whether that's for database, middleware, or any of the application stack. Typically, these are hosted on-premise or in a bring-your-own-license cloud type of platform. Customers generally start out paying Oracle for these types of services. Third-party Oracle support is when an IT leader chooses to replace Oracle support with support from another vendor, like Spinnaker Support. This move can cut hard dollar costs by upwards of 60 to 65% on what you're currently spending with Oracle today, and can deliver a much more personalized and responsive level of service. Here's a good analogy. You own an older model car. When it's new, if something goes wrong, you typically take it to the manufacturer or dealer to be fixed. But as the car ages, you may choose to take it to a specialty shop around the corner. These mechanics know you. They know your car. You trust them to provide sound advice, expert services, and to charge you a reasonable fee. You know and trust them with your car because you want to keep it running at peak performance. Well, that's how third-party support works for Oracle perpetual licenses. Keep your systems running smoothly, compliant, and secure. So now let's look at some of the factors that drive companies to actually move to third-party support. Third-party support has grown in popularity in the last decade. For thousands of global companies of all sizes, they've chosen to switch to an alternative provider. In fact, Gartner's predicted that by 2023, the third-party software support market will triple to over $1 billion. So here are a few of the factors that drive that trend. The first is expenses. Oracle support for on-premise software just continues to get more costly. Software and its support are the number 2 expense in most IT budgets. For most customers, in a period of 3 to 5 years, the cumulative cost of support will reach or exceed what you actually paid for the original perpetual software license. And Oracle will continue to grow its fees year over year by over 4% each year. The second factor is quality. As your software ages, the stages of support offer less and less value for the money that you pay. When you reach Oracle's sustaining support level, you actually lose valuable things like security patches, bug fixes, script updates, certifications for third-party products. The third factor is innovation. There's increasing pressure in every organization to invest in digital transformation and innovation. Needing to find ways to decrease support costs for legacy systems allows you to redirect savings towards these newer, more strategic initiatives. Organizations switch to third-party Oracle support for a variety of different reasons. We've shown some of the more common here. The first type is a company where they're currently running a well-functioning, stable enterprise application solution, and they have no plans to upgrade anytime soon. They want to maintain that existing environment for as long as they can on their terms, not on Oracle's. In fact, they may be unable to upgrade because of customizations, simply don't find the business value in the upgrade itself, or may just not be ready to migrate to a cloud-based solution yet. The second type of organization is one who wants a better level of service to justify that high cost of support. These customers are often left waiting days on service request responses and feel like they simply aren't getting the value they expect for Oracle's self-support model. The third type of organization is one that's planning for or maybe already committed to a migration strategy away from their current vendor on-premise applications or technologies. This could be to a SaaS replacement solution, a different ERP publisher, or perhaps an open source alternative. Knowing the applications will soon be replaced, they see no real value in continuing to pay the vendor these high costs. And finally, we see a number of organizations that switch to third-party support because they're under some form of financial pressure. This could be because of a merger, an economic downturn, a venture-backed acquisition, or it could be simply that budgetary priorities have resulted in a requirement to tighten the belt. COVID-19 pandemic has raised the need for immediate relief for many organizations in this current economic climate. If your company fits one or more of these profiles, we can probably help you. Most IT teams are already familiar with the limitations that Oracle provided support. Oracle pushes users to My Oracle Support, where you spend hours researching your own issues. And when no solution or update exists for your version, they press you to upgrade. There's only partial support for interoperability, no support for custom code, and a fairly shallow level of security protection in the form of reactive patches. Spinnaker Support offers what you see here as a standard part of our support services. To us, break fix means fast response for your software issues, even when they occur in custom code or because of interoperability. But the way we do it is very different. We have a personalized model that is tailored to each customer with an assigned team of engineers who are responsible for all tickets, beginning to end. You open a ticket, they work with your team to resolve it. We research and triage the ticket and allow your internal staff to focus on other things that might matter more to your organization. Our global tax and regulatory compliance is personalized to your needs as well. Our team of experts continually monitor and identify tax and regulatory updates from all across the world. You get timely and comprehensive updates that are tailored to your unique geographical reach and software environment requirements. This service is designed to keep you compliant while minimizing the impact those changes have on your systems. As a trusted partner, we will actually help you implement those tax and regulatory changes. General inquiry is the next point. We take this beyond just break fix support because we offer anytime the availability to answer how-to questions for you. So instead of relying solely on a self-service focused approach, you can now collaborate with resources with decades of experience supporting Oracle products. Security and vulnerability management is a vital topic for any customer, and I'll focus on those later. Finally, our standard support also includes technology advisory services. Oracle generally deflects questions like this to Oracle Consulting, to a partner, or would advise you on purchasing additional products. As part of our standard service model, we assist our customers by providing them with guidance and advice in areas that can include such things as interoperability planning, cloud migration, installation support, virtualization, and any other related areas in the use of the Oracle applications and technologies. On the right side of this screen are various managed services offerings, not a part of the focus for today's presentation, but all of these services are designed to complement our standard third-party support and enhance the value that we can deliver to our customers. All this sounds very impressive, but you may be asking yourself, what are the potential risks of moving away from Oracle support? I think it's best to answer this by addressing the most common questions prospective customers ask us concerning risk. So the first question is, how can a third party resolve issues without access to Oracle source code? Fair question, right? Well, as with any issue, there's always more than one way to solve a problem. Applying a patch is certainly one of them, but our engineers will review for the root cause, and after considering the most applicable approach, will provide an equal or superior solution based on how you're using the technology and its impact that it will have on your environment. That can either be a patch from our archive, which we worked with you to create during the onboarding process, or a software reconfiguration tailored to the needs of your system. A second question we hear is, how can you provide better support than the publisher who wrote the software? Oracle wants you to ask us this question. As I mentioned before, Oracle wants your staff to work through a portal to research and resolve issues themselves, which isn't always easy and can take a lot of time and far longer to do. In fact, they will make it hard for you to access Oracle experts in real time. Spinnaker Support will assign you a cross-functional team of highly experienced, seasoned engineers who are handpicked for your environment, your geographical reach, your internal capabilities, and specific product needs. Someone from the Spinnaker Support team will always be ready who is familiar with your needs to answer those questions. And we respond on average in less than 10 minutes on all priority levels. Another benefit for customers occurs during our onboarding process, when we inherit a backlog of tickets from their staff that they've not been able to resolve, or that Oracle was unwilling or unable to address. As a customer, we'll work with your organization to address those that are important to your business. Many Oracle customers are frustrated by the fact that Oracle really, if they really wanted to, they could return to lower fees and personalized support. But as a software company, Oracle has moved on to new objectives. It's using the high profit margins of their on-premise software solutions to develop the next generation of cloud technologies, not improve your experience. Their goal is to get you to reinvest in the future direction, not to support you on your current software. That's why the third-party support model is skyrocketing in both popularity and adoption. A third common question, will we lose access to Oracle's upcoming innovations? Not necessarily. Oracle's priority for those innovations is very much focused on their new cloud and digital transformation solutions. Any upgrade is not an upgrade in a historical sense. Generally not included as part of your annual maintenance and support fees, and it will typically involve a complete relicensing and reimplementation event. Usually that means greater expense to you. Upgrades for perpetual licenses that are available are often limited with poor value propositions. Finally, we recognize that keeping your system safe and compliant is a critical business requirement, and it is perhaps the most frequently asked risk-related question that we hear. So let's dedicate the next couple of slides to this important topic. Oracle delivers security patches on a quarterly basis. They are intended to address critical vulnerability exposures, or CVEs. And on the surface, these patches can appear to be an effective solution. But in reality, the software patching is quite different. First, patches are only a partial solution. They offer fixes for specific CVEs, but many are left unaddressed for months, or sometimes even years. And there are a number of documented cases where patches are either ineffective, incomplete, and often require further patching to resolve an issue. Second, patches are generally reactive. In some cases, customers have already realized a cyber attack before Oracle's patch is even made available. Third, patches are not provided by Oracle for older and stable versions of the software. When software versions move to Oracle sustaining support, Oracle no longer provides these security patches. Unfortunately, that doesn't lessen your concern over keeping your systems protected. Patching using Oracle's quarterly CVE approach can also be costly, time-consuming, and can also result in unintended consequences where the issue arises elsewhere in your system, like in a customization. And this can lead to additional lost time, frustration, and additional expenses to the organization. The reality here is that security is more than a patch. It is a multi-layered and complex topic that cannot be addressed by patching alone. Spinnaker Support's approach to security is not Oracle's reactionary one-size-fits-all model. It combines a full technology stack intrusion detection, virtual patching, compensating control, and proactive monitoring components for immediate protection of your systems. We refer to this as our 7-point solution, covering the core security concepts of discover, harden, and protect. This comes standard with our support services. We work closely with each customer to deliver only the fixes that you need for your specific environment and your specific security needs. It covers the software versions that you're running, regardless of what release level you're on. This approach is often referred to as defense in depth and is often more effective than Oracle's model. In fact, when we recently surveyed all of our customers on this topic, over 98% of the respondents indicated that our security and vulnerability protection is as good, if not better, than that delivered by the software publisher. Here's a brief look at the list of Oracle products and releases that we support. Notice that we provide support, including security support, for legacy versions of Oracle no longer supported in an acceptable manner by the vendor. This is our lifetime support policy, which means we'll support whatever version you're running for as long as you need us to. I've included 3 case studies in this presentation, but in the interest of time, I'm going to review briefly now each of them and leave you to explore them in more detail later. As a note, the presentation is available for download on our website. This first example is a UK-based retail customer that had severe cost challenges to overcome and had decided to move away from Oracle's platform to an open source solution. They had become frustrated with Oracle's refusal to align support fees with their reduced footprint. They had also suffered a high-profile security breach that had no patch available under Oracle's sustaining support model. By moving to Spinnaker Support, they received significant cost savings, more comprehensive responsive services, including security mitigation through our 7-point security solution. And today, we have a very satisfied customer. This next example is a chemical manufacturing company. They had grown increasingly dissatisfied with the quality of Oracle support and Oracle's refusal to negotiate on price structure. They needed financial relief, and their IT strategy called for them to remain on stable products with no immediate plans for an upgrade. They evaluated multiple third-party vendors, and they selected Spinnaker Support based on flexible contract terms, a simplified contracting process, and strong financials that met their company's requirements. We were able to accelerate our onboarding for this customer in less than 30 days because of a looming expiration of their Oracle-provided support. They now see higher quality support, are realizing significant cost savings, and only pay for the licenses that they're actually using. The final case study features a healthcare insurance company that experienced a complete system outage from Oracle. They reached out to Spinnaker Support and received same-day service to restart operations and stabilize the environment. They engaged us initially in technology managed services, and when their annual maintenance and support came due, they switched to full third-party support. They now plan to migrate off Oracle to an alternative reporting system in the near future. After doing so, however, they plan to continue to use Spinnaker Support to support their historical database in the cloud and to help them with record retention and history reporting. Our third-party support offers support quality and cost you wish you could receive from Oracle itself. We bring the skills, the knowledge, and the expertise to keep your systems running smoothly, securely, and compliant, enabling your organization to invest in future technology initiatives. The best way to see if third-party support is right for your organization is to reach out for a personalized consultation. Isn't it time to start receiving the support you deserve at a fair price? Contact us today if you're interested to learn more. And again, thank you for your time today.